It has a token.
Yeah, but it's not cool enough.
Is the owl gonna be hot?
I mean,
I
no,
guess.
but it will be cool.
Fair enough. Alright. Let's gently nudge this pig into the starting position for the pig races. Haha! A little late, just a little bit. How many minutes behind are we? Like 1 or 2?
An hour.
Like 1 or 2, love? Like 1 or 2? Hello and welcome to the Ilderon Tales. We are playing Dungeons and Dragons tonight. Everything you're going to see is going to be live storytelling. Tonight the session will be a tiny bit more scripted, but we'll see how that lands. You all know me and scripts and plans. I like to break my own plans for reasons. This is the this is the Umoja Echoes group. We're just gonna block that out on the screen. There we go, and we move.
What did you just show?
I didn't show anything. I just have the Stars and Coins logo up. And then what's the other button we press? I think we press this one, and there it is. Awesome. This is the Umoja Echoes group, Saga 1, Session 4 of their campaign. And if you are under the age of 14 and you're watching tonight, stop and talk to your parents. You're going to see content that is inappropriate for you. I like to do little tidbits about the world. We are running very late, so I don't think I am, but I will do a recap. We've been talking about it out of set. Oh my gosh, Sora's getting hi, Sora! Oh, beautiful. I'm happy. You're here for the recap. That was a very scripted response. That was planned tonight. That's in my DM notes. All right, let's do the recap, and then we will jump into this thing. Last session. Oh, we are time shifting this session. I gave out wrong information when I started, so I said this session started on the 3rd of Father, or the campaign started on the 3rd of Father. It started on the 13th of Father. So currently it is the 14th of Father. In the world, we are in the nation of Ardor Sarai, in the capital city of Ardor. There is an army 40,000 strong on the other side of the border, and it is causing a lot of problems. The party went to a celebration that was honoring a new vice administrator who was going to be hopefully fixing all of this and getting immigration flowing through the country again. Unfortunately, things went awry, and the sage who was throwing the party got kidnapped. As the party investigates, they've found that assassins are being hired all over the city. Names of dead people are showing up on ledgers. And the sage is not as good of a person as everybody thought, as he has maybe quite literally skeletons in his closet, ? The party got the sage's journal and has decided to investigate some of the crimes that he's listed, that he's trying to repent or atone for. Amongst those crimes, the two that they are focusing on is that Lethelia Nakart has been finding Terai in Somar Villa and killing them, and she has been unable to bring herself to kill the children, and she's been working with the sage to smuggle the children out of the country to a country where they can live peaceful lives. Terai are soul-eating beings. In order to survive, they have to eat other people's souls unless they're in one part of the world. The sage has instead been killing the children, taking Lethelia's money and killing the children behind her back. And the party is investigating essentially any information about Lethalia. She keeps her circle very closed. And the other storyline the party is chasing is they are trying to figure out who is orchestrating all of these assassinations across the country. The Sage has done this one time in Ardor's Pass. However, this time he was a target and he's been kidnapped. So potentially other people or other interests are behind all of this. Into a very straight recap. On the 14th of Father, or on the 13th of Father, the party got the journal. Ivana and Jessica also have the information that the party has about the Sage's crimes. They got those two people to agree to sit on the information for a little bit while the party investigates. The party learned from Kylissa of the assassin Kadam. She hangs out in a place called Sarchersa. Nobody asked what that is. However, Kylissa is sending someone on your behalf to go and talk to or try and figure out who has hired Kadam for the job she just pulled off, kidnapping the Sage. The Tolles family is involved in this. They are getting money to get contractors to hire assassins. They don't actually, their payments aren't dependent on whether or not people get assassinated. They get paid just by handing out the job. And it's a kind of no questions asked thing. And the last one, the party is on their way to the Surreal Manor, and did see a cult recruiting people just right out in broad daylight. They identified themselves as the Heart of Embers, and they were talking about the glorious things that can come from ash and passion. So with that, we are going to pick up on the 14th of Father in the afternoon. We are currently in the city of Ardor Serai. We are in the southern district of Somia. Your carriage is bumbling along the road. You just got done with your shouting match with the cultists, where I think you had a very snappy, witty reply that kind of left me a little bit lost for words at the end of last session.
Oops.
So everybody is in the carriage. I will be controlling Ivana this session. She's currently not with you, still meditating on yesterday's meaning. And there was one last thing I wanted to do, but I don't remember it. So the carriage is bumping along towards Anadilia Surreal's Keep. Anthem, or Phoenix, you said Anthem wanted to stop and buy some things?
Yes.
Okay. Somar Villa is not Somar Villa, Somia is the nice southern suburbs of the town. A lot of things that people sell here are for nobles going to the southern roads and the eastern roads, out of town or around the rivers. You can stop. There are plenty of market stalls. There are a couple shops here and there. The carriage driver that I don't think I ever named for you guys. Your carriage driver will stop for you. You wanted to pick up a book?
And probably, let me see. 2 charges of Find Familiar and 1 charge of Arcane Lock. Like the components for.
Okay. And do you have the gold for those on your sheet?
Yes, it would be 20 total for the Find Familiar to 25 for 1 Arcane Lock and 25 for 1 book.
Okay. You can go ahead and add those to your sheet. As you all are waiting for, as you all are waiting for Anthem to finish her trading, running along the road, a crimson toll's cape across her shoulders, you are going to see the bodyguard that Kylissa assigned to you all to protect her little sister.
That's not her.
That's
That
me.
is not her. Hold on, I've got this.
We decided the bodyguard's name was Theodore, right?
No. Kylissa's attendant's name is Theodore.
Ah, yes, gotcha.
I certainly saw you make her laugh. Oh, I see it. My brain farted. Alright, she's going to come running up behind your carriage. She has got a unstrung bow on her back and a longsword at her hip. As Anthem climbs back into the carriage, she's going to huff and say, Lady Tolls sent me to... Hi, Billy. She waves.
Hello. Hi. How are you?
She's gonna nod and say, well, I'll be quiet as a mouse during your dealings. But anybody lays a
okay.
finger on you, fucking cut it off.
Oh. Thank you.
She smiles. Oh, alright. Your carriage is going to continue along. The four of you are riding up the road to the Surreal estate. The Surreals have the biggest presence in Somia. This was actually where they were, where their family was based out of before Somar Villa popped up. There is a massive keep in the middle of this district, rising above the rest of the neighborhoods, and a cloistered wall around it, just giving it a little bit of space and breathing room inside of like the cramped and packed city. As you pull up the road and into the Surreal Keep, you can see there are a line of people, about a half dozen, walking out of the keep on foot with folded linens in their hand. They look towards your carriage as you ride by. A guard lets your carriage driver go by the gate. Or actually, I don't think they know Anthem is in here. They'll stop you. And as they stop you, somebody is going... one of the two gate guards is going to come to the side of the carriage and knock on the door.
I open it.
You'll have to provide Lady Tolls?
Hello?
He pauses for a minute. Do we have anything on the ledger of Lady Tolls visiting today? The other gate guard is going to yell back and say, Tolls? Nah, no tolls. One's here. Let her in. He's gonna say the briefing's already started. You might want to hurry.
Thank you.
They're
Have a
going
good day.
to open the gate. Chloe, for Billy, roll me a history check. Briefing.
Hi. Okay.
Because Billy's smart about stuff.
You'd think that, but my dice have been saying otherwise. Let's see. History. I should really be proficient in history. Well- What was that? A 3? No, it was a 5.
Historically, your family has a lot of friction with the Surreals. There is no reason a prominent Tolls member should have just been let in this easily.
Interesting.
Feels weird.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
give everyone like a weird look.
As your carriage pulls up the promenade, do you all want to say anything?
I do. I asked, what kind of briefing?
You're asking the guard?
Yes.
Okay. As your carriage moves by, he's gonna start a light trot of. He's going to see if he's allowed to speak on it. He's gonna say, "I don't know if I'm allowed to speak on security concerns outside of the keep. No plan's been orchestrated yet. They don't tell us much, but you know."
Plans? What plans?
Roll me a persuasion check. Oh,
Hey!
beautiful. Do you want to say anything to go along with that?
Helpful to know what we're getting ourselves into. And any information would be greatly appreciated.
He's going to say, I guess I haven't told you all yet. Westwind fell yesterday night.
Someone fell?
Westwind, the fortress, the fortress on the border of the country. The one looking over that mercenary army. He's gonna say, I don't know the details. Nearly the whole thing's crumbled in.
Natural or a natural cause?
Can you say that one more time?
Was it a natural or unnatural cause?
He's gonna say nobody's acting like it's war yet, but those mercenaries on the other side of the border, they weren't gonna stand and stare at that fortification all day. I'm just speculating. He huffs as he's going along, and I'll roll him a history check, and he'll say, but if I had to put my finger on it, sabotage. I'd get investigators on that right away. Hell, investigators, I'd send what's left of the forces across the border.
You want all-out war?
It's no secret that, and as he says this, you all are gonna get to the promenade, or get to the north annex of this place. He's gonna stop and say, it's no secret that Arter Sarai would march over Alona Guy all the way into Dockensdale before they had any sizable plan of counterattack. I mean, you've got 40,000 swords that are good at stabbing, but we've got 120 in this nation. 120,000 in this nation. Loyal to the throne. That's not counting what each noble lord can muster. He's gonna say, I don't want war, but I'm tired of this stupidity. They're supposed to be smart over there. I want lessons to be taught.
If they are this confident in their prowess, then they must have something up their sleeve. I highly doubt that they would just straight up decide to invade without having some kind of secret.
The man is going to go to open his mouth and respond before another person in the doorway is going to speak up, interrupting him. And he's going to say, Kralos, I wasn't aware we hired you as a political and war consultant. He's going to say, no, sir, you didn't. Back to your posts. The man nods, bows to Anthem, and is going to jog back to the front gate. The person at the gate, or the person standing in the doorway, is going to walk down to the bottom stairs, ledger in their arm, and a quill or piece of charcoal in their other hand. They're going to look down at it and say, we weren't expecting any Tolls members here today. However, we can make space for you upon the information that we're now learning. I don't believe we've met in person before. He looks to Billy, and he is going to bow and say, I am the head steward. His name is in my notes. Thas. Oh, I'm on the wrong page, sorry. Balin Thas.
Balin Babs. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for having us. I hold out my hand for a handshake.
He'll shake it. And I don't think he's met any of the party before in person. He looks at the rest of you. He'll help you out of the carriage, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much. I step out.
Does anybody else want to introduce themselves to him or ask him any questions?
What's he the head steward of again?
I serve at Lady Surreal's side. If Lady Anadelia needs anything, I am the hand that makes it happen.
Okay. Sable extends her hand and introduces herself as well as Sable Calgaran.
He'll take the hand. Eyebrows go up a little bit. Still nods and respect at the name, and he'll help you out. He moves forward to help out the remaining two people in the carriage.
Would I recognize this man?
You know him, but no, you have not met him. Unfortunately, your sister-in-law's wedding was a very private affair. Very quick affair, too.
Why quick?
So it was a lengthy process, and this is information that Anthem has. It was a lengthy process of organizing the marriage between Anadelia, the head of the Surreal family, and marrying her to the heir of the Renopal family, Russell Russell Renopal. Russell Renopal ran away from the betrothal at the last minute. When he ran away, he had a twin. His twin, your sister-in-law, was moved up to marry her instead, rather than
That's why it was hurried.
canceling or renegotiating any contracts or things like that. She's technically as old and as powerful as him.
Anthem would introduce herself and offer a hand. Anthem Libertas. Betrothed to Avalon Renopal.
He'll nod and say, your betrothed is already here. She's been asked to sit out of the briefing.
Huh?
I can lead you to her inside.
Be appreciated.
And finally, Amaru. Amaru, are you there? Your microphone is muted if you're trying to speak.
Oh, I had them muted on my headset and not my
There we go.
on Discord. Amaru is like terrified, trying not to like look out of place at all.
Okay.
But still trying to put on a brave face and her regular proud face.
How about you give me a charisma check for the not terrified face. If you're proficient in deception, you can add your proficiency to it. And I wouldn't say it's lying, it's like psyching yourself up. Fake it till you make it.
Would anyone give the help action?
Ooh, I'm proficient. Uh-oh.
If anyone wants to give the help action, you are allowed if you describe how you're helping. However, 16, if you turn around to look to help Amaru, who has been the last one like waiting to get out of this carriage, she looks fine. Taking a minute, not afraid of nothing. Probably. And Amaru gives her name.
Amaru Villarina, historical scholar and associate to Billy and Sable.
I will use the help action to back that up.
No. You're fine.
Oh, okay.
Das doesn't look like they're distrusting of Amaru, but there is a calculation that overtakes his features for a moment, before of course he extends a hand, helps her down, and begins leading you all up the stairwell. If you want more information on that, you can roll me an insight check, Sora.
-1. Hope for good things.
You don't have to. Some people in Artis Era, it's just weird.
0. 0.
Everyone in our
Incredible.
Completely convinced he is about to kill me.
Well, hey, even so, you're still holding it together. Composed, regal, ready to stab someone.
Perfect.
Beautiful. Yeah, Thas is just a weirdo. He's going to lead you up the stairs and into the keep. There is another guard here waiting with a lady at the doorway inside. The woman has a bundle of linens in her arms, and he's gonna say, as she is looking down at the floor, Thas says, another one. The man is going to nod. He's gonna say, to Storm's Nest, we'll figure this out later. He's gonna nod. Marching the woman out of the door past you all. You must forgive us. People have renewed interest in our keep. While it's also my job to answer Lady Surreal's, or to make Lady Surreal's will happen in this world, I am also in charge of orchestrating the security of the premises. Or at least hiring the people that are. In any case, let us be back to the business. Walking through the entrance hall of this keep, it is expansive in the inside. While the outer parts of this place do look like a fortress that was built, that has slowly been added onto. Over time, this has become kind of opulent. There are statues and different depictions of art in this entrance hall. As you walk, there is a single grand staircase that leads up half a story, and then it splits left and right into two other staircases that complete the ascent, and back around it there is a banister overlooking this whole hallway from the this whole entrance hall from the second floor. Let's see, there was one thing I wanted to show, but brain farted, so it's whatever. If you don't remember, it's probably not important. Thas is going to lead you to a interior stairwell through a door, and you can climb to one of the upper floors of the keep. He leads you in silence. You have an opportunity to talk amongst yourselves, or say anything, or ask him any more questions. Before you go to presumably wherever you're being led to. Somebody whispered something, I didn't catch that.
No, that's just me. I did something in Roll20 by accident.
Oh, no worries. All right. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Amaru puts her back to the person leading them up, and looks at Billy and just gives the most panicked face ever. Drops the whole act for a moment. Most panicked, terrified face ever. and then immediately attempts to like turn around and keep acting like nothing's wrong.
Billy responds with like a wide-eyed shrug.
Um, as you make that expression, Amaru, Lourdes, you're the bodyguard that's with you. You can see over your shoulder her hand rest on her longsword, or I'm sorry, her short sword, as you are climbing the stairs. A lot of fear that one bodyguard, or what one bodyguard will do here. Every floor you pass, this place is crawling with guards or personnel.
Ooh.
There are 2 people with spears going this way, 1 person and a lady with a sword going a different way. It is helpful to have an extra hand, but she might not go very far here. Finally, Thas is going to lead you to a decorated looking doorway, embossings of vines and wilter vines going from the floor and around the doorway, and opening it. He won't open it yet to lead you into the war room. He'll gesture and say, Lady Tolls, your presence will be welcomed. If you want, I can escort your friends to a room where they can wait upon you.
I sort of look for them. I look at them to see if I, kind of give them a questioning look.
Can't we come with?
Yeah, can they come with me?
He's going to exhale for a moment and say, the matters that are being discussed are of the security of our nation and borders. Allow me to inquire from my mistress for a moment.
Understood.
He'll gently open the door, closing it behind him. And
I whispered to everyone, guys, I'm so bad at this. I need you guys.
You're doing great. Just keep it up.
Also, quick question. Was Balin wearing gloves?
Was Balin wearing gloves? Yes. Insomni says yes. I was thinking on it. I was gonna let a dice decide, but my script is Insomni tonight, so
Okay.
yes, he was wearing gloves.
Damn.
But also, I think that's the mark of a noble steward, Like, you wouldn't want to get any of your hands dirty.
Of course.
Okay. I'm sorry, you all were talking amongst yourselves for a minute while you waited?
Only briefly.
Well, only briefly is as long as I need. Because as you are waiting with nervousness, you are going to see down this hallway another armed individual walking around the corner. However, there are 2 people, 2 golden heads of blonde hair. You recognize 2 rental paws walking towards you. Of Anthem, you are going to see Avalon. She is walking and chatting with her sister, Rachia. As they see you, Rachia is going to stop and smile and wave at Avalon, or wave at Anthem. Anthem is going to, or Avalon, I'm sorry, Avalon, Anthem, two A names, blah, 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 blah. Avalon is going to see you. Her eyes go bright as she runs towards you in her half-plate armor. She's thank you. She's gonna run up and hug you and say, Nolly! Wait, you weren't supposed to be here. I told you I'd take care of this for you.
Yeah, so things kind of came up and we had even more questions to ask, so we're here now.
Hello.
She'll nod, and Rachio will walk up and join the conversation. Avalon is going to say, oh, yeah, of course. Billy, this is my sister, Rachia. Rachia, Billy, Amaru, Sable, and I don't know you. Her hand goes to her sword for a second as she looks at your bodyguard.
He's okay. Or sorry, she's okay.
Avalon is going to nod and say, you have another armed woman with you? You could have just asked me. Rachia is going to say, you're an heir to a noble family. You should have a bodyguard with you. Avalon's going to shake her head and say, I'm fine. But
You're never
seriously,
going to
babe,
convince
if
her,
you want me
Rachia.
to, that's how we met. It's like romantic. She takes her hand off her sword.
Well, thank you for introducing us.
She nods and says, anyways, what were the new questions? Did the sage have any enemies? What business was the sage into? She counts on her fingers, by the way. Who would be interested in kidnapping the sage? And the other question that I haven't forgot, I just want to
Forgot.
ask her in
You
private.
forgot. Yeah. So, Rachia, why aren't you in the war room with her?
Rachia is going to turn red, bright red, and turn away and say, it's not my place.
Tao?
I mean, she's in there right now, and she's commanding, and she's helping with the defense, deciding essentially the fate of the nation, a plan to present to the magnate, and it's like, I mean, I'm just she struggles for a moment as she tries to find the word. She was supposed to marry Russell. I'm here because he disappeared. I don't try and put more. I don't try and move in any spaces more than what the arrangement was for.
I'm sure she'd love your support.
Avalon has a knowing look, puts up her hand next to Rachia and mouths towards you, pointing at Rachia to the other side of like her hand, covering her mouth. She mouths, she has the hots. Rachia is going to turn and smack her armor and say, "You're so unseemly at times." Anyways, she's yet to decline any of my requests since I've been here, so I was going to ask if Avalon could join the meeting. Avalon is gonna speak up and said, "She said I wasn't trained in matters of state and kicked me out. I mean, she's right, but I've got time to learn." As you all are waiting here, the door is going to open, and Thas is going to step into the hallway with you. "You all... Lady Surreal Riddlepaw," he bows. "Is there anything in your quarters or on the premises that you're seeking?" She's going to say, "I was wondering if my sister could attend the war meeting." He's going to look towards the party and say, "Well, actually, your wife just extended an invite to the Tolls. Not heiress. I don't know what your title would be."
Second in line?
Yeah. The Tolls representative, and her friends. If you would care to extend the size of your party, he looks towards
Yes.
Billy.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
"You'll be permitted, but please understand that these are matters that take a guided hand. In
Of course, the
directing."
most guided. Of course.
Avalon's gonna say, "I guide my sword into people all the time. That uses my hand."
I like
He's
this lady.
gonna shake his head and open the door. Inside of the room, you can see a large, dark, wooden table. There are a few figures sat around it, and one standing next to the person at the head of the table. Sitting at the head of the table, you are going to see a woman with black hair, who is talking to the person standing next to her chair. As soon as the door opens, she looks, sees all of you, sees Rachia for a moment, stands out of her chair. Rachia looks down, and she is going to turn and walk away.
Can I
Anadelia is
insight
going-
that?
Go for it. You just gotta believe in yourself.
I just really like 18s today.
That's a beautiful roll to keep rolling. Just go ahead and roll that all session.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anadelia is handling her business. There is a respect she pays to her wife. That gesture seems simple enough. Rachia is indeed a simp. Far too embarrassed of a relationship she never expected to have. Um, you can read it as a genuine attraction on Reichia's side. The other side, you don't know this woman as well.
Can Anthem try and, like, make her stay? Like, just grab her hand before she leaves?
Sure, you're dragging her into the room.
Yes.
Well, this is her sister-in-law, so there is some familiarity. As you grab her hand, Richia is going to keep herself composed and say, I think I left a book open in my room that I don't want somebody to read. I was gonna go close it.
That's incredibly
Fast.
unfortunate. You were given an invitation, and you're in the room already.
Bass is going to nod and say, I can have a servant handle it for you. Lady Surreal, Rinnelball. She is going to nod and say, yeah, of course. Anadelia is going to gesture to one of the seats at the side of the table and say, Reichia, please, sit. Reichia is going to pull out the seat and sit. Or no, well, Bass will pull it out for her. Anadelia is going to look at the rest of the party all walking in. Her expression becoming much harder as soon as it leaves Reichia to any one of you, and then becoming
Yeah, do like an
almost,
awkward wave.
yeah, that of a boulder at Avalon. And she's going to say, can you keep your mouth shut about the things that will be discussed in this room? I don't mean to be rude, but your father has a understanding of these events that I would much prefer.
I do a little like 2-finger salute and a wink.
Not to you, to Avalon.
Oh.
Avalon is going to run her fingers along her lips, zipping them. She'll sit next to Reichia. Anadelia will look up to Billy and say, Westwind fell last night.
Really?
She's going to nod and say the information we have on it is thorough and to be trusted. A few sendings have been shared to the High Generals, but most organizations, factions, and people, nobles and other families in the country don't know yet, as the magnate is orchestrating his response to it. She's going to sit back down. She'll gesture to another table, or seat on the other side of the table.
Thank you for sharing that.
You and your family are tasked with defending the borders and Door Edge.
Yes.
It would be a crime of negligence had I not shared it with you. Has your sister returned to Somar Villa?
That was where she was when we saw her yesterday, right?
No, she was leaving to go there. It's 8 hours
Oh.
south.
She was on her way there the last I checked.
She's going to nod, thinking for a moment, and say, what sway and pull do you have with your father?
Actually, I'll ask you that. I don't really know. How much...
Billy...
How easily can I convince him?
the Tolls family likes collecting things, especially shiny things.
And I'm a shiny thing.
Yeah, a noble family having a prominent member as a Dorai
Yeah.
Is pretty prestigious.
Yeah.
You are a trophy daughter. You are not much else as far as pull and sway. Sometimes you get to see your family blackmail people, and that's kind of cool.
But otherwise, I stay out of affairs.
Well, I wouldn't say you stay out of it, but it's like, you know, Manning's not like choking a guy and it's like, hey, let me show you how to tie this knot, daughter. You know, it's just like, she's never going to pick up the family trade. We don't need to teach her this stuff.
Alright, I'll let her know. I normally stay out of my family's business, so I don't think I have much sway. Why do you ask?
Your father has been stubborn at times. When
Sounds like
talking
him.
and working with him, especially my last trip to Hellenis.
Yes.
Lady Nakart sent 30,000 additional soldiers to the border. So, fortunately, even though the fortifications of Westwind have been destroyed, many of the soldiers stationed there were able to escape the demise. That, with the 30,000 on their way, we should be able to fan out across the border and form a sizable front line should that army decide to attack in a moment of weakness.
Well, that's good, I think.
She's going to shake her head and say, no, those troops were en route before the fortress fell. They had a different purpose. They were to give us an edge, a overwhelming numerical and tactical advantage. The fortress of Westwind, and then 70,000 troops to defend it and move about. Whatever reason for building this mercenary army, it was an intimidation to scare and show them off. But once again, we're back on the defensive, responding rather than dictating the field. She's going to shake her head and say, this is information for you and your family. You defend the door.
Thank you. I'll be sure to pass that on to my sister.
How did the fortress fall?
The lady standing over Anadelia's chair is going to say, sabotage, Your Grace. About 3 dozen saboteurs got inside of the fortress. There's a lengthy tunnel complex underneath it. They brought in explosive barrels.
Jesus.
How are they let in? Or were they?
Anadelia is going to speak up and say, the High Generals authorized a plan that both myself and Lady Nakart were against. They had recruitment drives and recruitment calls for the fortress, trying to bolster its numbers. Rather than waiting on trustworthy reinforcements, they got thousands of swords to help patrol and occupy the fortress in the region. any one of them could have found ways into those tunnels and caverns beneath.
Do you think the High Generals could be a part of it?
Hold on, I need to roll 2 parameters. I'm so sorry. Anadelia is going to say, I have a vote on the Security Council. I'm in contact with both of them quite often. I believe their patronage to our country is vast, but nobody's perfect.
Was there any particular reason that they hired quickly instead of the normal route? Were they under pressure?
Anadelia is going to say they were seeking the same effect that we sought to send. While we collected 30,000 of our most trustworthy bannermen to send, the same effect could be done with any 30,000 Ardorians willing to stand tall. Even without Westwind, it's not as if Alonagai has a chance in the bridge to take any Ardorian force in an open battlefield.
They have the confidence to do so. That indicates that they do have something up their sleeve, though. Because whatever I hear about them, I always hear people reiterating that they're smart.
Anadelia is going to nod at that and say, and of course, we don't want to underestimate them, and for that to be our own folly. I'll be going to Somar Villa. I'll be going to Somar Villa later this week to consult with Lady Nakart, and we'll decide our next course of action. Everybody roll me a history check.
Yeah, I roll okay this time.
Also, Anthem, you're entitled to a free insight check if you so desire.
Hey! Oh.
Beautiful. Anthem, as you guys are sitting and talking and having this discussion, ever so often you see Anadelia stealing glances at your sister-in-law. It's hard to discern how, like, what emotions or anything like she's feeling. They're just that same kind of calculated glance from Thas. It's different, but it's like these people are trained in the art of politics, and it's kind of hard to see behind their mask anyways. That said, the history checks. I'm going to give you all information in tiers of 5, starting with all the people who rolled 11s. Arter Sarai still has a concept of nobility. Weird, wild. The nobles have power in the decision-making of the country and the influence that they wield more than the regular high and low citizens. Moving up to the 10, Anadelia is not only noble, is one of the most prominent, or five most prominent noble families in the country. And to the 15s, she has not only is she one of the five most prominent, the head of one of the five most prominent noble families in the country. She has married the third strongest noble family in the country, effectively uniting the two, so that this might be the single most influential woman in the country, other than the magnate. Sora, at a 20, you get all of that other information. It's really fucking weird that she's going to talk to Lethelia rather than the leader of the country with as much power as this lady wields right now. And of course, the statement that triggered that history check for all of you is, rather than her going to consult with the magnate about the country's plan forward, she said she's going to consult to Somarvilla to consult with Lethelia.
If we ever desired to meet with Lady Nakard ourselves, would that ever be possible?
Anadelia is going to put her chin on her hands and say, I could communicate your concerns to her. Do you represent the Renopal family in this concern? Or in this matter? She looks to Avalon. Avalon is gonna say, she's a lot smarter than me about stuff. We're lucky that she hangs around.
To the DM, when was the last time that Lady Nakart was seen alive? Like, out and about alive?
So she doesn't ever leave her keep. However, she does throw a ball in her keep once a week. So there'd be prominent. I won't make you roll this. There'd be prominent talk and gossip of people seeing her at her ball, amongst the upper nobles of the country. Just last week, which would be 5 days ago.
But is she, like, physically seen? Can people see her? Like, walking and talking about...
I will make you roll a history check for that. I'll give the same information to Billy, too. Billy has an easier time on it. DC 12 for Billy and DC 14 for Anthem.
24.
Hey! Exactly.
Billy, yeah, you and Kylissa have gone to the balls a couple times. Lethelia doesn't intermingle with people at the ball. She normally makes maybe 1 or 2 appearances, either standing on a balcony in her banquet hall, welcoming people, or sometimes she is seen throughout the night watching over the party from one of the upper balconies. To your knowledge, you have never bumped into her at one of the parties. Anthem, you will know the same thing. She throws the parties. She is there and people see her, but she doesn't interact with people while she's there.
If I may question, why does she only speak to you or through you often?
Anadelia is going to crack for a moment, just a small, short laugh. Before she speaks up and says, honestly, I'm honored that she has chosen to let me into her circle. And to be more honest with you, she's paranoid. She sees enemies everywhere where there are none. I don't move about with the same superstitions.
How many people are in this room, and how important are they?
Anthem, I will answer that question. You're entitled to another free insight check, if you so desire. And people in this room, there is Avalon Rachia, your bodyguard, the Anadelia, Thas, the lady briefing Anadelia, another one of Anadelia's attendants who is taking notes of this meeting, you, Billy, Amaru, and Sable for a total of 11.
All right. You'll probably never answer me, but are you under her, equal to her, or controlling her?
I didn't see that insight check. Anadelia was talking earnestly with all of you, genuinely sharing information, knowledge, a shifting, softening expression in front of her wife, and the stern exterior she tries to put on, and it felt very authentic until you asked her why Lethalia only communicates to her. She laughed for a moment, and then that kind of composure came back. Anadelia's response was so calculated that you feel like it was a lie. You can ask that same question if you so desire, but you do have that information now.
Yeah, that information just reinforces why I'm asking. Like, she'll probably never answer, but I'm still gonna ask.
We're partners, allies in the same goal.
Insight.
Go for it.
21.
Ooh.
I would feel like that authenticness came back. There is some, like, oh, I go through this all the time with people about Lethalia, but it's just like, hey, why do you work with her? Are you below her, above her, or what? She, from Anadelia's perspective at least, you feel like she believes that they are partners.
Kind of.
Say that one more time.
What kind of a goal, or what goal?
The prosperity of our great nation. There are lots of people, ideologies, histories, cultures, traditions, faiths, in ardor. And I think how we all come together and unite under our banners, and we lead the world through darkness, it's the most Ardorian thing we can do. There are those that, amongst the new age of nobles, that don't have that same streak of valor, and that's not Ardorian. She looks towards Billy, as she says that.
Philly just glances around awkwardly. I have no part of that.
If you're head of
Our goals-
security,
Oh,
are you also spy master?
Anadelia is going to stop for a moment and say, is there information you're seeking?
I seek and I trade. What do you do with blackmailers?
Anadelia is going to shake her head. You're confused. I don't blackmail anything. Simply having information helps us know how to act.
Oh
in
no,
the best
not you.
interest of all parties available.
What do you do when someone tries to blackmail someone important in the system? Someone who's trying to seize control of it.
She is going to gesture to the lady standing behind her and say, my flowers grow all over this country, but all the initial seeds came from a surreal garden. One that takes constant work to manicure and have the weeds removed.
Opinion on the silver sigil.
I believe we're talking about two different things now. Where's your mind?
I know of someone trying to blackmail someone. I'd like to know what you'd do.
I'd need more information about the parties involved.
Alshandorus. He had a book. I suppose you've heard of it? Or no?
All the sages keep journals of their adventures, their knowledge, their lessons learned to share with others. But no, I can't say I particularly have read any of Olshandorus's.
Someone wants the information in it so that they can blackmail someone powerful. Would you kill them? Or would you jail them?
She's going to say orchestrating the murder of somebody is probably worse than orchestrating blackmailing. I'd see them sent to Storm's Nest. You can ask the servants around here. I'm generous with my judgments.
Can I have a check on Storm's Nest? Like, what is it?
Sure. I won't make you roll for it. It's scary. It's a dungeon in the city, a massive, basically a Alcatraz in the city. It's on one of the strips of land, and the Royal Army runs it. Ardor Sarai's Ardor has a huge population. Magic can allow populations to get much bigger in Ilderon, and as such, they need places to handle their judicial system.
Have there been any escapes?
Um, I think you're on a different trail of thoughts, so I'm gonna pull out a little bit, just out of character. And how about you tell me the information you're poking for, and maybe I can guide you back on track a little bit.
Okay. So I'm trying to decide whether or not to send Raylan to jail.
Okay.
In the likelihood of
Oh, so
yeah.
okay. I thought you were asking if there are any escapes, like a criminal is behind everything that's going on right now.
No. Yeah.
Is Storm's Nest uh, secure? Is what you're seeking from her.
Yes.
Anadelia is going to nod and say, "It's secure enough." If there's any escapes, Warden Sundale does at least enough, a good enough job of hiding them from myself.
Do you know anything about Draylen Madison?
Whew. Okay, you've asked a thing that's going to completely change her whole demeanor. So let me answer Insomni real quick. But I will type it out. That is the Warden of Storm's Nest. And you asked Anadelia about Draylen Madison. To which you're going to see a moment of like all of her walls going to shatter as they like recompose.
Can I insight?
Go for it.
20.
Draylen told you he has beef with Lethelia. Probably that beef extends directly to Lethelia's bloodhound, Anadelia, too. You can, if Anadelia considers herself 50-50 in working with Lethelia, then you can be assured that that 50-50 is probably 50% of all of Lethelia's enemies, too. She's gonna say, "I'm familiar with him. It's a miracle he hasn't tripped into a blade in the last year."
What has he done to gain your ire?
Anadelia looks down at the table. She opens her mouth to speak and stops. Everybody in the room, you can feel that there is some string of connection you potentially have to this person that you could be allies with. She does not want to share more with you. You are able to, I'll let you all know you're in a oh my gosh, the word just escaped my mind. You can persuade her if you want to open up to you. However, I feel like without any further pushing, she's probably not going to answer any of your questions on this subject. Oh, skill challenge. That's it. You're in a skill challenge. I'll say if people can make 3 successful checks, and it doesn't have to be persuasion, of things that can either communicate that you can be trusted, or to try and open Anadelia up. she might share that information. And it doesn't have to be persuasion, but it can be anything that you think your character might meaningfully contribute. Her wife, her sister-in-law, and pretty much most of her close inner circle people and the party. Does anybody want to try and contribute to the skill challenge?
I will. Sorry, I stepped away for just a second.
No worries.
Let's see. Could I use... Is there any way I can make it make sense to use investigation? Like, going through notes or something that I've taken? Or...
Yeah. So you are... And so you're trying to convince her you're, like, trustworthy, or you're trying to see if you can trust her? Or, I will allow investigation. I already have, like, loosely of an idea. I'm just trying to form it a little bit more to like, what you're looking for.
I think a little of both? I think a little about a bit of both. That's what is Anthem going for right now?
Okay, you can let
I
me know,
kind of want to back up Anthem a bit.
Phoenix, for Anthem, but for Billy, go ahead and roll me that investigation check.
Sure. Oh, not good. Even with a +6.
Okay,
Wait, what am I?
I'll tell you the results of that in a second, and I will let you roll again for other things if you so desire. For
Alright.
Billy, did Anthem want to say anything? Anadelia has shut down. You've asked her what Draylin has done to earn her ire. She is on the edge of either closing up to you guys or sharing with you.
I tell her that
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Draylin is out to make political moves with blackmail. And I hope that the people that he's targeting do not get hurt by it. And I would like to know his motivations.
Okay, roll me a persuasion check. I'll give you advantage on it. Your DC to beat is 14. I'll lower it by 2 for each successful check you guys get.
23.
You see Anadelia's expression soften as she says he's not a man to be trusted. For Chloe, for Billy, as she's trying to determine, can she trust Anadelia? How do you communicate to her that you can trust her? You're looking around the room, kind of like she has a scribe here who's transcribing all of this. You're on the same side of the table as the scribe, and you lean over and look, and you cannot tell a word of what this lady is writing.
Sure.
She writes a line, and the ink bleeds away, bends, and then disappears, and there are 4 other words across the page that fade away. It's a strange moment before the lady notices you looking at her, and she is going to stop, run her hand across the tablet, and all of the ink and pages bleed away. Everybody is still welcome to contribute. You all have 1 out of 3 successful checks.
Can I, like, very subtly intimidate her? Like, not like pull out my sword, like, oh, you must speak right now, but just like,
Power pose.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, elbows down on the table or something. Like, you know, that guy. Like I am pressuring them to speak. Like,
So you are talking to an Ardorian woman? These people love fighting all the time about everything.
Oops.
So I will say you can do that. And this is before you make the check. This is information you are aware of in character. I will give you disadvantage on it because Ardorians are not scared or intimidated by very much.
you know what? I will try it anyway.
Go for it. DC 12.
If Chrome doesn't black screen and restart the tab. Oh, never mind. We're okay. Thank you, Google Chrome. Most functional browser of 2024.
Incorrect.
No, that's sarcasm, love.
Ah.
You put your elbows on the table. She matches the gesture.
Someone back me up on this. Double down. Double or nothing, someone.
It shouldn't be me.
Well,
It wouldn't be
you-
Anthem.
You all can contribute in any ways that you feel your characters would.
I already did a roll, right? So I probably can't do it again.
I'll let you go again if there's something else you think that Billy does with the information available to her. This is a whole party skill check. This is sometimes just a dungeon mastering mechanic that I like using. They introduced it in 4th edition, and I said, fuck leaving it in 4th edition.
Is there a way I can sleight of hand to make her trust us? Like, if I, like... I'm trying to think of a way I could, like, slyly do something.
So, Anthem has the journal that you've all been discussing.
Oh, yes.
Nobody's mentioned what's inside of it yet. Showing that you have one of Alshendor's journals could potentially lead. You can try and pull it off of Anthem's person if you so desire.
Yeah, I'll try. Hey, finally successful roll!
All right. You can grab the journal out of Anthem's bag and put it on the table. Everybody looks. The sins of Alshendoris lie on the table, not open, by the way. Anadelia is going to say, that's the information.
That's right.
Her mouth opens a little. You all are at 2 out of 3 successful checks. The DC is down to 10 as you feel like she is about to open up to you.
Has anyone not tried to roll?
I'm thinking of something. Trying to anyway.
I will say Anthem was deliberately trying not to mention the contents of the book. Yeah.
Well, we kind of did it. We just showed it.
Yeah.
Lady, I'm sorry, Lady Blah. Sable. For Sable, you are going to be aware this lady has some ties to the information community, especially with how Anthem and her were talking back and forth. A trade of information could potentially be something that communicates your trust.
Okay. Before she does, is there any chance of subtly casting Detect Evil and Good?
Yeah. Go ahead. And actually, I forgot, you're from the Darkened Vale.
Yeah.
The Surreals have a ranch in the Darken Vale. They own a huge swath of desert land that they, believe it or not, they hire druids to farm on it. And they raise all of those weird livestock. The Surreals are universally loved in the Darken Vale. I don't think you've ever met Anadelia before, but you would know they are perceived positively by the Empress's court.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I should have given you that information earlier.
It's okay.
What was your question? You asked me something.
Oh yeah. Could I, whilst no one is paying attention, to cast Detect Good and Evil, mainly focusing on Adelia, but also having a glance around the room?
Yeah, go ahead and link that spell because I always forget exactly what it does. And I will say you can give me a stealth check to try and cast the spell stealthily, or you can give me an Arcana check to try and better read and focus on Anadelia and the other people here.
Okay. Oh.
Oh,
Found it.
Well. Oh no. Okay. I thought that. I forgot about that.
The armor just clanks as you try to cast your spell.
There is a so you do cast the spell. As you do, the lady standing over Anadelia's chair, it is hard to see where it comes from, has a dagger in her hand ready to throw at you.
oh,
Oh, shit.
And before she does, Anadelia is going to wave a hand and say, "There's no need for spells here as we communicate." And she gets about that far through the statement, through the rest of your cast, like finishing. There is an undead person here.
Oh.
They are behind Rachia. Thas is undead.
interesting.
That said, she's going to finish her statement. We communicate in earnest with each other, and where earnesty can't be trusted, gold can. If you'll let that lapse, please.
I can
My
help with gold.
apologies.
You drop concentration.
Yeah, but afterwards, I do relay to the rest with my where is it? My mind link ability
Oh,
to the rest, which I guess I don't think I've used yet.
Before you do that, I'm going to communicate to you directly. Because of the information you revealed, I think that was like very clever. Even though you failed that check, depending on what you say here, I might count this as a success.
Okay. I do relay to the others with my mind link ability that Thas is undead, and we should be wary.
interesting.
Which, I mean, hearing if people are used to hearing voices in their head, so I don't think I've used it on anyone before yet.
Yeah, how does mind link work?
It's mostly one way, but I can create like a telepathic link with one person for them to
Okay.
speak back and forth.
Where do you get the ability from?
It's a race thing with Kalashtar.
Oh, that's such a cool race.
It's cool.
While you're linked with Anthem, She just tells you you could pass it off as you just want to ensure the security of the room.
Okay.
I'll allow a persuasion check. You can do deception if you wish, but I feel like that was like Sable's true intentions.
Yeah.
Am I doing the check?
Uh, if you want to pass it off,
Okay.
as you were just worried about the security is why you cast the spell.
Yeah.
If you don't,
That is.
okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Oh,
Better?
that's pretty good.
Anadelia is going to speak up and say, I can assure you, my keep is secure. If I've let someone in this room, it's not someone we have to worry about.
Hmm. Okay. Very well.
She'll speak up and say, Terai and undead in this country and any place outside of the Vale have a hard life. Terai are beings that require the consumptions of souls of others in order to sustain themselves. The sheer nature of their existence requires that the law handle them appropriately. This is something I acknowledge, and there are many Terai that also acknowledge this. There are those that... Oh, go ahead.
No, that's something I'm thankful for, especially in the times like that.
There are those that that know this truth and seek to live in the shadows, causing as little harm as they can. And there are others that know they're a monster and take delight in it. Lord Madison has paid off a Lord Madison has paid off a magistrate in the shipping city of Guir. He buys slaves and eats their souls to sustain himself.
If I said I had information that could jail him or kill him, what would you do?
Anadelia is going to sit up in her chair and say, try to do the same thing that Lethelia and I have tried to do the last dozen times. Get him to trip onto a sword. The man finds one way to at least put a foot out to catch himself.
Help stage it. What do you want with this book is power over you both. Specifically, because of the Darkened Veil.
Me? I don't have any dealings with Alshandoris.
Lady Nakart did.
She did not. what is in there. Anadelia is going to reach for it. Her instincts betraying like the manners of the moment. Does anybody stop her?
No.
No. And then as she reads, Anthem continues. Draylin Madison wanted
Anthem.
blackmail
Anthem.
on him. Yeah.
As you talk, as she's a quick reader, she reads a lot. As you talk, while she is looking through this, she stops, horrified, all composure, gone. He was fucking doing what? Oh, the gods better be thankful he got kidnapped. Everybody can see Anadelia is on the page of Elshin's dealings with Lothelia.
Draylin this book for blackmail, specifically to control Lady Nakehart. Say we stage something. Because he
I don't
personally
give a
offered...
damn about Draylin. She's going to point to the book and say, "Find out whoever took that sage and bring him to me. I'll slit his throat myself." The woman over her shoulder is going to look down at it, scanning the pages, and say, "Yes, Your Grace." She bows.
Information on the name of the person who kidnapped him.
The woman pauses before leaving. Anadelia looks elevated at this point. Rachia is going to say, Anadelia, or what, Your Grace, would you want to take a break from this? Yes, a break would be welcomed. Excuse me. She is going to stand up from her chair. Stumbles a bit. Thas goes to her side and catches her. And she's going to walk out of the room. There is an awkward silence over the room as she leaves. You are left with Anadelia's scribe and one of her agents. Oh, the dagger's disappeared, by the way.
Whoa.
She has stashed it wherever it's supposed to be. You know who kidnapped the sage? You'd make my job easier. If you care to share that information?
Wait, who's asking?
The agent, the lady who was going to throw the dagger at Sable.
Oh, okay.
The one who was handling this, who was briefing Anadelia.
Yes.
Should we say?
We have suspicions.
I'm sorry. I think Sora was saying something.
Okay. Yep.
No, I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you then.
There goes Jasper.
Jasper. Oh, Jasper, were you saying something?
Yeah, I was just
Sorry.
saying if we should tell. Like out of character.
Yeah, you all can discuss that if you want. I think we're close to our end time. So I'm kind of fishing for an ending point. So I'll give you guys a couple minutes to roleplay and talk about stuff before we finish up for today.
We should probably tell her. Having someone like actively look for the same person at the same time could be useful.
I'm down.
We
Anthem, what do you think?
effectively kill two birds with one stone. we get rid of the problem of Draylen Madison, and we also figure out who leads on the Sage much more quicker with the pretty much the most powerful woman in the nation backing us. Not
Yeah.
only that, then we can also have access to information on the border because she's also the head of security.
I say it's a win-win no matter what.
Okay, if everyone's in agreement, what do you say to Anadelia's agent?
Reasonable belief that it was done by Kadam, the apprentice to Nyla Loonfall. The former Shadow Knight.
The lady standing up is gonna say, "Fuck." Okay,
Can I incite that?
go for it.
Can I also try?
Go for it.
Oh, alright. Anthem's got it.
Yeah. You get the impression if Anadelia asks or demands something, she's not the type of person to be denied. This lady, from what you've told this lady, she knows a little bit about both of those people, and you have given her a very hard job. And yeah, she's, I mean, again, she'll compose herself and say, okay, as she begins walking towards the door. The scribe with the tablet is going to say, well, I wasn't dismissed, but my services are on demand for Master Thas. So
Go for it.
she
We don't need
takes
you.
her tablet and stands up and runs out of the room. Avalon. I don't think anyone ever told Avalon what was in the book.
Oops.
Yeah, Avalon is gonna say, so what was the sage doing? Why is she so mad? What's the problem? She's gonna stand up and walk to the other side of the room. To
Who is the book right now? Okay.
It's on the table where Anadelia was sitting. Does anyone want to stop Avalon from reading it?
No?
Okay.
I'm not gonna like take it away from her or anything. I'm just gonna like put my hand on it to try and like tell her to stop. Are you sure you want to know?
Well, I mean, if it made her act like that, that lady's got to stick up her ass all the time. Richia's gonna say, that's my wife. Avalon's gonna say, as of like a week ago.
Do you
Rachia-
promise to never tell anyone else outside of this room? And actually keep that promise?
She's gonna smile, twirl her hair, and say, of course, Nolly. I want to know what everyone else knows. I mean, it's not like anyone can torture information out of me.
Okay, yeah, no, we're keeping this book away from you. No.
You don't let her read it?
No, after hearing that, no.
Okay. There is going to be a moment, I think, where she looks hurt. And before it sinks in, she's gonna stop and say, I don't need to know. I stab things for you. Yeah,
Aww.
Mhm, okay.
Aww.
Rachia, lunch later? I saw your chefs. They look talented. Richia's gonna nod. Avalon's going to look at all of you and nod and walk out the room. That's so
Feel good about that
sad.
anthem?
Is it
No.
okay if we
No.
end on that note?
Yeah, let's end on some A's.
I'm
No.
so sorry.
I'll keep it secret for sure.
All right. Great session.
Billy was fine with her, but Billy is like, you're not. She's
Well,
not my girlfriend.
I did want to, tell you guys and give you the opportunity because you are making some sort of effort to keep, this information restrained in the eyes that see it. Oh, what a great session. So you all have let Anadelia know what the sage was doing on the investigating Lethelia and the sage's connection. If Anadelia is to be believed, likely her or Lethelia had no idea that the sage was doing this, which he does write in his book, that he was doing it in secret. You also gained the information tonight that there are a circle of Terrai in the country, making things harder for the other Terrai that are living here.
Interesting.
And does anyone else have any baseless speculation? Because I'm willing to confirm baseless speculation if it's on point.
I do have a question.
Hit me.
The sabotees.
Oh yeah, Westwind fell. I forgot to
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that's big.
Would Sable by chance recognize that as a possible Silver Sigil operation in terms of like similar tactics and such?
No, but there is extra information I wanted to give Sable. So I'll give this information to both Sable and Amaru on screen that you get from different locations. And I probably should have mentioned this in the session. Things just kind of ping on my brain when I hear your characters talk. I'm like, oh, this character knows this thing. For Sable and Amaru, you can add this to your notes, and I will also try and put it in my GM notes that I've been giving you all. You would both be aware there are rumors and legends of a library of ancient knowledge underneath Westwind. Those tunnels and catacombs are vast that go under there, and it's kind of like a scholar's dream to find it. And it could be something discussed with, your different scholarly communities and agents that you all have talked to. Specifically for Amaru, they might have information about that dagger there if it did exist. But now, fat tooties on that one because the whole place is blown up. Imagine all that was lost. In either case, I would say that the Silver Sigil would not want to blow up a place like that. That information is very valuable to them.
Okay. Gotcha.
If it existed. So we will end right there. I'm gonna add 2 milestones, and our next session will be on the 29th of June. Does anybody want to throw out some baseless speculation? Because I will confirm it if you hit something.
Avalon
think I'm
cannot
sharp
cook
enough.
grilled cheese.
Avalon cannot cook grilled. Yes, she does not. They have servants for everything. Confirmed. Good baseless speculation. All right. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was about to improvise something, but my brain's not working.
All right, I'm gonna end the broadcast there, and I'm gonna be hanging out and chat for the next 30 minutes. So anybody
Woo!
watching, you're welcome to hang out with us. Oh, hey, hi John. Thank you for watching the stream. Look at that.